Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how.
What's up everyone? Welcome back to Everyday Unboxing. This is my channel where I unbox and review all kinds of new products and technology. Today I'm following up on a product that I reviewed not too long ago, the Waydoo Subnado underwater scooter. Now if you're new here, the Subnado is a compact, lightweight underwater scooter designed for snorkeling, diving, or even just having fun in the water. Now I've been using these for several summer months now, and I've got some additional thoughts to share, so stay tuned and we'll dive back in. Okay, so for those of you who might have missed the original review, which I'll link in the cards above, here's a quick recap of the Waydoo Subnado's key features. First and foremost, they are the smallest and most powerful of its size underwater scooters available on the market. They've also got a top speed of 1.4 meters per second, as well as a 100-watt motor, and each individual scooter weighs less than 1.5 kilograms, making it super portable and easy to travel with. Plus, it also has a runtime of up to 56 minutes and charges very quickly. Now, not only are they 50% lighter than the regular underwater scooters, but they can also reverse charge, serving as a battery bank if needed. Now, what's nice is each scooter is designed to be used with just one hand, and it even has a safety cord to strap onto your wrist so you don't lose it if you drop it or if it gets away from you. Now you can switch between 3 speed modes and it works up to 60 meters deep. The specs sound great on paper, and so far they've lived up to every one of my expectations. Now from a build quality and durability standpoint, I've been pretty impressed with how well the Waydoo Subnados have held up. I've taken them on multiple cruises and diving trips and even some rougher conditions, and they still work like a charm. Now on most of my trips, I'm constantly asked to test them out, and everyone who has used them has ended up wanting to get a set for themselves. They're just so much fun to use. Now the body of each of these portable units is made up of a durable material that doesn't show much wear and tear. It's also shockproof, which is great because I've accidentally bumped it onto rocks and dropped it in the pool a few times, and still no scratches or dents. They're built super solid, but light enough to carry around without being too much of a hassle. Now when it comes to battery life, the claim is up to 56 minutes. But to be totally honest, I'm seeing more like 45 minutes on a full charge when I'm actively using it on high speed, which is most of the time. Now that's still pretty solid for a product of this size, but if you're using it on longer dives or in strong currents, just keep in mind that it drains a little bit quicker with that type of usage. Now when it comes to charging is super fast, and it takes about an hour to fully charge each unit, which is convenient if you're doing back-to-back sessions, or you just need a quick top-up between dive sessions when you're doing your safety stops. Now when it comes to that, I do love that it uses USB-C charging, which is super handy and convenient and charges these things very fast. Okay, so with that in mind, let's get to the fun part. How do these Waydoo Subnados perform in real-world use? Honestly, they're so much fun whether you're snorkeling or diving or even just swimming. These make playing around in the water way easier and effortless. If you're using just one of them, the one-handed operation is super intuitive, and the low speed mode is great for slow exploration, which is perfect for when you want to get close to marine life without scaring them off. Now in the high speed mode, which is pretty much what most people use most of the time, it's actually got quite a bit of power. You can cover a lot of distance very quickly, which is awesome when you're trying to get back to your boat or to shore without exhausting yourself. Plus, it is absolutely great for anyone who might not be the strongest swimmer, but still wants to explore, especially in water with tougher currents. Okay, so let's break down some pros and cons based on my experience so far over the last few months. First of all, the pros. The first thing, of course, is that these Subnados are super lightweight. You can just throw them in a backpack and bring them along anywhere you go. Also, the one-handed operation. They're super easy to use, even for beginners. And then of course, they've got great power for the size of these underwater scooters. The 5 kilogram of thrust that it gives you plenty of speed and control in the water. And then of course, you can't get away without talking about the durability and the build quality. These have been through some rough conditions and they're still holding strong. And then also, what I like about these is also the USB-C charging. So there's no real hassle there and they charge super fast. Last but not least, these have got tons of accessories with unlimited connectivity with all kinds of things that you would use in water activities. Now, let's also talk about some of the things that I've noticed that could be improved. From a cons perspective, which aren't really cons, battery life, especially at high speeds. Now, if you're using the high speed mode a lot, which is pretty much the mode that most people like to use, the battery life could be better. On a typical use, I'm typically getting closer to 40 to 45 minutes instead of the full 56. But this also means that it would sacrifice size and a bit of portability if the batteries were larger. Speed modes. Switching between speed modes can be a little bit tricky, especially if you're new to these, and especially if you're wearing gloves or are in rough waters. Now, it's not a deal breaker, but it's something to keep in mind when you're using these. And then last thing is probably the depth limitation. While 60 meters is great for most people, if you're a serious diver, you might need something that goes a lot deeper. Now the good thing is I don't do extreme diving past 100 feet, so it's perfect for my use case. Now again, those aren't really cons, but they are something to consider when purchasing these things. So overall, who is the Waydoo Subnado really for? In my opinion, this is an awesome gadget for recreational snorkelers, divers, and even for people who just want to have fun in the water without a lot of swimming effort. Now, if you're planning an island vacation, a trip to the lake, or even just spending some time at the pool, these are a blast. They're easy enough for beginners, but still offer enough power and features for more experienced water lovers. Now, I've found that they're also great for families. If you've got kids who love swimming but aren't the strongest swimmers, this gives them a little extra boost in the water. Of course, safety first. Always keep an eye on them and make sure that they're using them responsibly, because these also are a little bit powerful for children. But these definitely do add to the fun. Now, before I wrap up, here are a few tips if you're thinking about getting these Waydoo Subnado underwater scooters. Make sure, 1, you charge them before you head out. Be sure to fully charge it before hitting the water, and make sure you also bring a power bank or some kind of charging brick if you're doing long sessions. Second, of course, is to start slow. If you're new to underwater scooters, start on low speed to get a feel for the controls before cranking it up to high, because these things will pull you through the water. Third, make sure you keep an eye on battery life. When the battery starts to get low and you're out in the water, switch to low speeds to extend your run times as much as possible. And then, of course, the last thing from a maintenance perspective, which I think is very important, is to rinse these after every use. Make sure to rinse it with fresh water after each session, especially if you're using it in salt water. This will help prevent any salt buildup and keep these running super smoothly. So, after a few months of using these Subnado underwater scooters from Waydoo, would I recommend them? Just like in my previous video, I'd still definitely recommend these. They're a fun, compact, and easy to use underwater scooter that makes exploring the water a whole lot more enjoyable. Whether you're into snorkeling, diving, or just casual fun at the beach, they're a great addition to your gear. These are also the most affordable option that are priced fairly reasonably for what you get, starting at $399 for a single unit. Now, if you've been on the fence about getting one of these, I'd say go for it. If you're interested in purchasing, I'll drop a link to them in the description section below so you can check out more details and snag one for yourself. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful. Please also make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future reviews. Until next time, see ya.